Okay,
Give me a second, I'm gonna record.
ready?
In or to the right, yeah.
Sure.
We are good.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. This is the Borough of Ramsey, the Mayor and Council meeting for Wednesday, January 25th, 2023, at our new time of 7 p.m. This meeting is also being conducted telephonically with the dial number 425-436-6365, access code 213563. And the meeting may also be viewed on the Ramsey YouTube channel. May I have the roll call, please?
Mayor Dillon,
Here.
Councilwoman Cusick,
Here.
Councilman Gutwetter,
Here.
Councilman Kilman,
Here.
Councilman Popolo,
Here.
Councilwoman Poppy,
Here.
Councilwoman Woods.
Here. Thank you. We have the flag salute. I will ask Mr. Canals to lead us in the flag salute.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of all citizens to have advance notice of and to attend all meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting the public is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, notice of this meeting of the Mayor and Council was published to the Bergen Record and the Ridgewood News on Friday, January 13, 2023. Do we have do we have approval of minutes?
Yes, Madam Mayor, this is Councilwoman Cusick, and I motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
And I second, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Any comments on any of the minutes? Not hearing any, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cusick,
Yes.
Councilman Gutwetter,
Yes.
Councilman Kilman,
Yes.
Councilman Popolo,
Abstain.
okay, Councilwoman Poppy,
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Communications.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I make a motion to accept and receive the communications as listed on the agenda.
A second?
Okay, thank you. Any comments on the communications?
I'd like to wish Jackie Turner a wonderful retirement.
Me too. She's going to be greatly missed, and thank you for all of her service. She'll be greatly missed. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cusick.
Yes.
Councilman Gutwetter,
Yes.
Councilman Kilman,
Yes.
Councilman Popolo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Poppy,
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods.
Yes.
Hey, one thing on communications, Mr. Zola had sent a letter regarding parking on Main Street near the movie theater, and we did have the traffic division of the police department look into it. If we want to put additional parking there, we'd have to remove the crosswalk, which is a very active crosswalk. In addition, the eastbound side of the street cannot accommodate any new spots between the crosswalk and the fire hydrant, so we'd only maybe get 2 or 3 spots out of it, but we'd lose a crosswalk. So we will respond to Mr. Zola and let him know that. Thank you. Okay, public comment. Anyone wishing to address the governing body, please give your name, spelling the last name and address. Please speak in an audible tone and address your comments to the chair. There will be a 5-minute time limit per speaker unless reduced because of the volume of business on the agenda. Please note public comment is your time. Out of respect and fairness to all, there will be no interruptions or questions answered during your time. No time shall be ceded to anyone else, and no time shall be saved for later use. Any responses may be given during the governing body's comments later in the meeting or as directed by the chair. The Borough Clerk is the official timekeeper. Anyone want to make comment? Oh, all right, Mr. Canals.
Thank you. Roger Canals, K-N-A-U-S-S, 21 Park Place, Ramsey. This evening, I'd just like to update the Mayor and Council on the use of the Senior Community Center. I, along with the help of Mr. Rose, have been helping to coordinate some of the activities taking place there. And one of the most frequent questions I get is are we using it? Is the Senior Community Center being used? And I thought what I would do this evening is I prepared a list of, during the past year, those organizations, there's over 22 of them, that had used the senior or the community center. This is in addition, of course, to the Ramsey seniors who use it every day, 5 days a week. Not in any particular order. Various Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Daisy Troops, Cub Scouts. The Ramsey Crossing Guards use it for their preparation, their training session meetings. The Ramsey Community Emergency Response Team has used it for many of their training sessions and their graduation ceremony. Ramsey Junior Lacrosse, Ramsey Unico, Ramsey Baseball and Softball Association, Ramsey 7th and 8th grade football, Ramsey VFW, the Ramsey Juniors. We held a CPR and defibrillation training and certification class there. Rife, of course, Ramsey is for everyone. The Environmental Commission had their styrofoam, their recycling collection in the community center. The Ramsey Municipal Alliance, the Ramsey Women's Club, the Ramsey Response, of course, had their annual coat drive there. The Ramsey Leisure Club meets twice a month. In July, of course, we opened up the room for a cooling station. In September, the Board of Health had their annual flu clinic. And of course, in November, we had the community center open for the 2 voting places. So what I want to point out is that it's definitely being used, but I still want to invite any other organizations, nonprofit organizations, if you're looking for a venue, if you're looking for a place to meet, I'd be very happy to meet you, take you on a tour of it, and show you the facilities. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Knaus. That's quite the impressive list. Okay. Anyone else? Is there anyone on the line that would like to make a public comment? Okay, second call for anyone on the line that would like to make a public comment. Third and final call for anyone on the line who would like to make a comment. Okay, not hearing anyone on the line speaking up and no one else stepping up to the podium, I will close public comment. We have an advertised public hearing for final consideration of ordinance.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is the final reading of ordinance number 01, 2023. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance amending Chapter 10 of the Code of the Borough of Ramsey, Bergen County, New Jersey, and more specifically, Section 10-23, compensation. Having been brought up for public hearing and all persons interested having been given an opportunity to be heard, pass final reading by title, and that said ordinance be adopted as an ordinance of the Borough of Ramsey, and be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be, and she hereby is directed to cause a copy of the title of said ordinance be published in an official newspaper of the Borough in a manner provided by law, together with a notice of the date of introduction and adoption of said ordinance.
I'd like to second that.
Thank you. Any comments from the council on that ordinance?
Now, this ordinance was brought up at our earlier meeting there in the month of January, with details.
Okay. All right, so nobody else? All right, at this point, I will open ordinance 01, 2023 for public comment. Is there anybody in the audience who, in chambers, would like to comment on this ordinance? Not seeing anyone? Okay, is there anyone on the line that would like to comment on this ordinance? Okay, second call for comments. Third and final call, second call for comments. Third and final call for comments. Before we vote, I'll just let people know, this ordinance is an annual salary ordinance that sets the range for salaries for certain borough positions. This is not setting specific salaries, but the ranges they would be in. Actual salaries are determined by governing body resolutions, individual employment contracts, or collective bargain agreements as applicable. Okay, may we have a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Cusick.
Yes.
Councilman Gutwetter.
Yes?
Councilman Kilman.
Yes.
Councilman Popolo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Poppy.
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods.
Yes.
Thank you. I hereby make the following appointments. David Kelly, Ramsey Volunteer Fire Department. Anthony Graziano, Ramsey Rescue Squad. Andrea Petro, Ramsey Rescue Squad. And Sue Dance to the Design Review Board. Okay. We have consent resolutions, please.
Thank you again, Madam Mayor. Be it resolved that resolutions 036-2023 through and including 049-2023, having been considered by the governing body of the Borough of Ramsey, be they're hereby passed and approved. There are no special permits or block party requests this evening.
Do we have any do we have a second?
I will second it.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cusick.
Yes.
Councilman Gutwetter.
Yes.
Councilman Kilman.
Yes.
Councilman Popolo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Poppy,
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods.
Yes.
Thank you. Are you here to be sworn in?
Yes.
All right, come on up, let's do this.
Way to go.
Oh, now you get to sign this. Oh, here it is. Okay, so you're gonna fill out the inside of it, okay? And then when you're done, we'll just do a question spending it.
It's so delayed.
All right, Terrence, did you get pictures?
We got a video, thank
Okay, good. Of course. Right? Thank you.
That's great.
Council, committee and liaison reports, finance and administration, Councilman Gutwetter.
Thank you again, Madam Mayor, and good evening. First off, I'd like to offer congratulations to the appointees. Thank them for their service. That's David, Anthony, Andrea, and Sue. All three of the committees that I am liaison to, Library Board, Recreation Commission, and Pool Commission had their reorganization meetings earlier in the month, and all three voted in a chair and vice chair and are off to a very enthusiastic start in the new year. The library has many events planned for winter and spring, starting with Lunar New Year event, which is on January 28th, and the Winter Fest, which is on February 11th from 12 to 3. See the library website for more details on these events. There'll be other events as the year progresses, and I'll bring everybody up to date on those. The Rec Commission is planning its events for the rest of the year with a spring Easter egg hunt scheduled for April 1st, with more details to follow. And the winter basketball and winter wrestling seasons are going well. We'll wrap up basketball in the month of March and wrestling next month. The Rec Commission is working on streamlining the registration process to make the events easier for the town residents to register for. Registration for summer camp at Finch Park. Seems like it's a long time away. It's nice weather today, but 6 months from now, it'll be nice and warm. The camp is tentatively scheduled for June 26th through July 28th. July 4th will be an off day. It's from K through 5th grade, and that registration form should be out forthcoming. And the job applications are also available, I think, on their website. The Pool Commission is planning events for the pool season with early registration in discussion and Friday nights and other social events being planned. The facility appears to be in good shape, and an idea of a one-week camp in early August after the Finch camp closes is being discussed. The opening day is May 27th, which I guess is Memorial Day weekend. Job applications is on the website, and the seasonal rates are being discussed. Always check the websites for these boards and commissions for more details. Thank you.
Thank you. Public Safety, Councilman Kilman.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to say congratulations to Anthony, to David, to Andrea, and Sue on their appointments, as well as wish Jacqueline Turner wish her well on her retirement. I do have a short report from former councilman and military veteran Joe Verdoni on VFW Post 12148. Our VFW Post will host a Super Bowl party on February 12th at 1 p.m. until the game ends. Food and non-alcoholic beverages will be provided. The mayor and council members and families are all welcome to join. And the Board of Health had their reorganization meeting, and they always have a number of topics and lively discussion. I always encourage people to call in, but I know that in a very short period of time, is that April, Mayor, will all be,
You're stealing my thunder.
oh, sorry, then I won't say anything else. Thank you very much, Mayor.
Yes, that was on mine. Thank you. Building, Planning, and Zoning, Councilwoman Woods.
Oh, thank you, Madam Mayor. Again, congratulations to Jackie Turner on her retirement. She's been very integral in the running of the borough. Also, thank you for serving, and congratulations to David, Anthony, Andrea, and also Sue Dans. And I would like to welcome Kim Young on their appointment to the Design Review Board. The Ramsey Zoning Board of Adjustment had 2 applications approved, and that was at the last meeting on January 18th. The next meeting is Wednesday, February 15th. The Ramsey Senior Trustee meeting was held on January 12th. And on December, just to let you guys know, on December 26th, there was a frozen pipe in the men's room, but Roger Knaus handled everything with DPW, and classes resumed on December 28th. Thank you, Roger and Tom Lanning, for handling that so well. The seniors will once again help stuff the eggs for the Easter egg hunt on April 1st. Anyone that wants to help, please reach out to me or Roger Knaus. The computer help session was very successful, and we'll probably reconvene at some point, but they're also looking to add phone help classes, because that seems to be a big request. Book club is attracting recent retirees, and by the way, you only have to be 60 years old to join the Ramsey Seniors, and only 55 to join the Leisure Club. So please get involved if you'd like to. And the Design Review Board had 2 applications for this month. Evergreen Kids Academy on North Spruce Street is replacing existing signs, and the Ramsey Animal Clinic will be moving from Main Street to the old Whitekurt building on the corner of Franklin Turnpike and Main Street/Lake Street, and their signs were approved as well. And that is all I have for tonight, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Utilities, Buildings, and Grounds, Councilwoman Cusick.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is Councilwoman Cusick in my report for the 25th January 2023. Wish Jackie happy retirement, like everyone else does, and congratulations, Anthony and family. It's so good to see you. David Kelly and your appointments to Ramsey Rescue Squad, Andrea Petrow to Ramsey Rescue Squad, Sue Dance to the Design Review Board, working with Jane. I'm so grateful to all of you for your support and service to our town. My report tonight's going to be an update for our Planning Board, our Shade Tree Commission, and the Board of Public Works. For the Ramsey Planning Board, they last met on the 17th January for the reorganization meeting. Roger Iorio continues to serve as the Planning Board Chair, and Joe Carey as the Vice Chair. At the meeting, there were 6 site plan waivers presented and approved. 1 public hearing for soil movement on 213 Grove Street, and the application was approved. And our next meeting is February 7th, 2023. I'm grateful to this board for their volunteer efforts on behalf of our borough. On the Shade Tree, our Shade Tree met on the 19th of January, and during this meeting, Joe Melso and Russ Martone were voted as chair and vice chair respectively. In addition, Stanley Rutkowski, Nancy Geist, Jay McMahon, and Ken Englishman were sworn in for their commission positions. I'm also grateful to this commission for their volunteer efforts on behalf of our borough. Arbor Day is the 28th of April. Please mark your calendars. There's information on our borough website, of course, and our next Shade Tree Commission is the 16th February. For the Board of Public Works, they last met on 23rd January at 6:30 p.m. There was a reorganization meeting. You're seeing the recurrent theme here, everyone, right? There was a reorganization meeting. Chris Coronado and Doug Emmer were elected president and vice president. In addition, Robert Boff and Craig Stugart were sworn in as new appointments to the board. The next board meeting is the 20th of February, 23. I say that because with the holiday, it's a week later, folks. For leaf collection, Our 22-23 leaf collection campaign is complete. I thank our residents for their feedback, and I've met with Councilman Kilman and Popolo as they are serving on the Utilities, Buildings and Grounds Committee to discuss leaf removal improvement efforts or potential for improvement. And for the lead service line replacement, the Board of Public Works continues planning regarding the NJDEP's lead service line replacement legislation. This project requires that all lead service lines served by the water system are replaced by the year 2031. There are many considerations for this project, including paving schedules both in the county and our own town. Costs are a consideration, and as well as other projects in the borough. There will be a need for new ordinances, and these have been discussed with Councilman Kilman and Popolo, again, because they're with Utilities, Buildings and Grounds Committee. Madam Mayor, thank you very much for the time.
Thank you, and what Councilwoman Cusick failed to mention is that she was elected secretary of the planning board once again.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Okay.
I
Thank
don't like
you.
that word failed when you say my name.
No,
Sorry.
I'm sorry, sorry. You didn't mention that you were elected secretary again.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Unanimously on that.
Thank you.
Okay, Public and Governmental Relations, Councilwoman Poppy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would like to start with congratulating our appointees on the agenda, David Kelly, Anthony Graziano. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
I love to see the swearing in of the appointees at the meetings. I think that's fantastic, so thank you for being here. Andrea Petro and Sue Dance, and congratulations to all of them, and thank them for their service. For Jackie Turner, I did have the pleasure of working with her for a couple of years when I was chairing the Municipal Alliance. She was absolutely lovely to work with. She did a great job, and it's going to be sad to see her go. For my report today, I'm going to start with the Ramsey Journal. I will be sending out information to the heads of our boards and committees probably the end of this week, so in the next couple of days, to get the journal out by mid-April, okay? So that's kicking off now. There will be another new resident mixer that is slated for June 20th at the town pool with a rain date of June 21st. The Ramsey Municipal Alliance is hosting a fabulous event next Friday, February 3rd, at the Knights of Columbus at 7:00 p.m. It is a comedy show to raise mental health awareness. Their MC is Dr. Matthew Bellis, who is a PhD psychologist and comedian, and he's bringing in a couple of other comedians that you may have seen on TV as well. So a nice treat there. We have some great sponsors, and we're looking forward to packing the house, so we hope that everyone will attend. It's $50 per person, $90 for a couple, and teens are welcome with a parent. And the Ramsey Girl Scouts, some of you may have seen from friends, the cookie sales have started. So please make sure that if you know a Girl Scout, you support them through the cookie sales. And if you don't know one, I do. Thank you very much. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Health, Education, Social Services, Councilman Popolo.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Congratulations to David, Anthony, Sue, and Andrea on your appointments, and thank you for coming tonight. Much appreciated. Wishing Jackie well. I worked a lot with Jackie Turner, and wishing her well in retirement. Will sorely be missed. To go through my updates are as follows for Rife. The first official meeting is actually going to be in February, but status for having different things. The basketball season is going on and going very well for the challengers. There's been a lot of individuals kind of there, and a lot of help and assistance with the buddies, which has been really, really good. Rife will have their art night on Friday, 127 at Community Center. It's from 7 to 8:30. We currently have 36 participants. This is much higher than we've ever had. We've only had about 25 tops in the prior sessions we've had. And then in February, we plan to have an event at Humdinger's, which will be now scheduled for 2/16, which will be a Thursday night from 6 to 8. And that usually attracts a lot of rifers to kind of go there as well. Ramsey Responds, we did not meet and plan to meet early next week, so I'll give a status in my next update for that. Environmental Commission, we met on January 10th. The biggest topics kind of coming out of that session were on April 22nd is going to be the Ramsey Cleanup Day. That's tentative that we kind of have there. On April 23rd, we'll have the toy drive as well as Earth Day scheduled for that date. There was a lot of discussion around the composting of the waste, management and recycling as potential presentation to the dais that will happen with that. So that was one of the discussions they wanted to go through. And lastly, the Board of Education did not meet this month, and we're meeting on 1/31, Tuesday. And that'll conclude my update.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Okay, for my remarks, thank you to Anthony Graziano for volunteering for Ramsey Rescue Squad. Congratulations. Thank you to David Kelly, Andrea Petro, and Sue Dans for volunteering. And I also want to say a special thank you to all the returning and new members of the numerous boards and commissions in Ramsey. We couldn't be up here on this dais without those boards, without the support of those boards and commissions, and they really do help run the town and make the town how special it is and maintain our quality that we have here. Just to let everybody know, we received notice today that southbound Route 17 ramp from Lake Street going to southbound 17, will be closed for about 30 days, starting early next week. So, you know, I'm gonna ask the police department, you know, we'll definitely put out a rave alert on this one, and I'll ask the police department to put up their bulletin board, their signage board, so they know. So we will get the word out on this. But just to let everybody know, we found out today. And Councilman Kilman, what we was referring to earlier, right now, some of the boards are still meeting telephonically, remotely, and some of them are a hybrid. So my goal is to have all boards and commissions meeting in person no later than this April. A couple of the boards, planning board and zoning board, statutorily, they either have to be in person or by Zoom. They cannot be a hybrid. So I've been speaking with the chairman of those two boards about, let's say, April. Cold and flu season's over then, so let's go back. So the goal is to have all boards and commissions fully in person by their April meeting, okay? And I think that's all that I have. Borough Administrator.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just comment on a few of the items on the agenda tonight. In terms of resolutions, just mention on Resolution 39, which was the authorization of bond anticipation notes. The borough utilizes bond anticipation notes for our capital project funding. These mature in 1 year, and the borough then at maturity will go back out to bid for a new bond anticipation note after paying down a portion of the principal plus interest through the budget. We have these bands that mature in both January and June of each year. This resolution is for the authorization of the one that renewed in January. The Federal Reserve, as you all know, has raised federal funds rates 7 times in 2022 with a cumulative increase of 4.25% for the year, which has driven up everybody's borrowing costs significantly higher. The borough had 5 institutions, though, bid on our bond anticipation note, with Amboy Bank being the low bidder with a net interest cost of 4.1%. This net interest cost, while higher due to the Fed funds rate increases throughout the year, still reflects the strength of the borough's financial position and the very competitive rates that we receive from the independent party investors who provide these services to Ramsey. Resolution 45 is the approval of an appropriation reserve transfer. This resolution is a budget transfer of one line item to another line item, which has no incremental increase to the budget. It is a net neutral transaction. It's similar to a budget transfer done at the end of a calendar year, but it's called an appropriation reserve transfer as it's a transfer for line items in the prior year, in this case 2022. That's being made in 2023. Again, net neutral impact, it just realigns funds between line items, and the items in this resolution are for the Board of Public Works budget rather than the regular municipal budget. Resolution number 46, number of our governing body members have commented on Jackie Turner's retirement. Jackie's been in our finance office for 10 years. She's retiring at the end of March, and she has been a tremendous asset to the borough, specifically in finance and in payroll, as serving as a backup also for the last 10 years. She'll be very difficult to replace, and wish her best in her retirement. Resolution number 49 is the County of Bergen has recommended a speed limit change on Franklin Turnpike. Back in the fall, or prior to the fall, actually, the borough had asked the county to perform a speed limit investigation for Franklin Turnpike. As Franklin Turnpike is a county road, the borough does not have the authority to modify the speed limit. It's the county's responsibility. The current speed limit on Franklin Turnpike in Ramsey is 40 miles an hour, except for a point 200 feet north of Prospect Street to Airmont Ave, where it's 35 miles an hour. After its review, the county's recommended that the speed limit along Franklin Turnpike in Ramsey for the entire length from the Allendale line to the Mawa line be 35 miles an hour. This resolution on the agenda confirms that amount that the borough concurs with the county's recommended speed change, and will allow the county to move forward with its process to change its ordinance and implement the new speed limit. I would just also comment on ordinance number 2, which is later in the agenda for introduction. This ordinance is to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limit and establish a cap bank. This is a pro forma or standard ordinance that municipalities all across New Jersey adopt each year ahead of adopting their municipal budget. We do it every year as well. The state allows the municipality, if they adopt this, to potentially increase their budget appropriations by up to 3.5% from the prior year's budgeted appropriations. This does not impact the tax levy cap of 2%. It deals with appropriation line items under the state municipal cap and allows flexibility if in a given year certain line items need to be increased above the appropriation cap. While Ramsey may not utilize this flexibility, there's no harm in adopting the ordinance. It doesn't set anything in the budget now. It's just creating potential for options later on. So any amount that is revised above the allowable level could be banked for future years if it's not used. And that would conclude my comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Borough Attorney.
Nothing, Madam Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. Borough Clerk.
Nothing, thank you.
All right, thank you. Then we will move on to the introduction of ordinance, ordinance 02-2023.
Thank you once again, Madam Mayor. This is the introduction of ordinance 02-2023. Be resolved that an ordinance entitled Ordinance to Exceed the Municipal Budget Appropriation Limits and to Establish a Cap Bank pass the first reading by title, and that said ordinance be further considered for final passage and adoption at a regular meeting of the mayor and council to be held on the 8th day of February 2023, 7 p.m. prevailing time, or soon after, as the matter can be reached, at the municipal building in said borough. And be it further resolved that the borough clerk be, and she hereby is instructed to publish in an official newspaper of the borough in the manner provided by law a copy of said ordinance, together with notice of introduction thereof, and notice when the same will be considered for final passage and adoption.
Second?
Thank you. All right. Do we have any comment in addition to what Mr. Bozay covered during his remarks?
Oh, Mr. Bozay covered it.
Okay. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cusick?
Yes.
Councilman Gottwetter?
Yes.
Councilman Kilman?
Yes.
Councilman Papalo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Poppy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. We have any unfinished or new business? Not hearing any. Motion to adjourn, please.
Motion to adjourn?
Second? Second, Councilman Gottwetter. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you, folks.
Okay, 7:36.
Yeah, you should have.